The loudest person in the room is usually the poorest person in the room. I have watched this pattern for 70 years. I have sat at dinner tables with billionaires, and I have sat at dinner tables with millionaires pretending to be billionaires. The difference between them is not their portfolios, it is their mouths. The truly wealthy understand something that the middle class never learns. Silence is not the absence of speech. Silence is a wealth protection strategy. This is not philosophy. This is financial physics. Welcome to the Oracle framework. Today we are going to talk about the 5 financial secrets you must guard with your life secrets that, if spoken out loud, will cost you more than you can imagine. Most of you watching this video are bleeding money from your mouth. Every time you talk about your finances, you are giving away your power. You are inviting sabotage, and you do not even realize it. The rich do not talk about money, because talking about money destroys money. Let me show you why. The physics of financial silence. Before I give you the 5 secrets, you must understand why silence works. You must understand the physics in the animal kingdom. The predator does not announce its presence. The lion does not roar before the hunt. It moves in silence. It watches in silence, and it strikes without warning. The prey makes noise. The prey chatters. The prey signals its location to every threat in the jungle. Most people are financial prey. They broadcast everything. They post their new car on social media. They tell their coworkers about their raise. They discuss their investments at family dinners. And then they wonder why nothing ever works out here. Is the brutal truth. Every time you share financial information, you create one of 3 problems. Problem 1, you create envy. Envy is the most destructive force in human relationships. When you tell someone about your success, you are not inspiring them. You are threatening them. You are reminding them of their own failures. And now, consciously or unconsciously, they want you to fail. They will give you bad advice. They will discourage your next move. They will celebrate quietly when you stumble. Problem 2, you create expectation when people know you have money. They expect you to spend it on them. Family members suddenly need loans. Friends expect you to pick up the check. Everyone has an emergency that only you can solve. Your wealth becomes a public resource, and you become the bad guy for protecting it. Problem 3, you invite interference when you talk about your plans. People feel entitled to give opinions. Your father-in-law tells you real estate is a scam. Your coworker says the stock market is gambling. Your brother says you should play it safe. Every voice adds friction to your decision. Every opinion creates doubt, and doubt is the killer of wealth. The wealthy learned long ago that the cost of talking is always higher than the cost of silence. Charlie Munger once said, "It is remarkable how much long-term advantage people like us have gotten by trying to be consistently not stupid instead of trying to be very intelligent." I would add to that, it is remarkable how much long-term advantage people like us have gotten by simply keeping our mouths shut. Now let me show you exactly what to keep silent. Secret number 1, your net worth. This is the most important number in your financial life, and it is the number you must never speak out loud. I have never told anyone my exact net worth, not my children, not my closest friends, not even my late wife Susie knew the precise figure. Why? Because the moment you say a number, you become that number in everyone's mind. If you tell someone you have $500,000, you are now the $500,000. Every decision you make will be judged against that number. If you buy something nice, they think you are showing off. If you do not buy something nice, they think you are cheap. You cannot win worse. Still, you have given them a target. People will unconsciously try to bring you back to their level. This is called the crab bucket mentality. When one crab tries to climb out of the bucket, the others pull it back down. Humans do the same thing, especially with money. The poor talk about their net worth to impress people. The rich hide their net worth to protect it. There is an old saying, if you want to know what God thinks of money, look at the people he gave it to. I would add, if you want to know who actually has money, look at the people who never talk about it. When someone asks you how much you are worth, you smile and change the subject. When family members probe about your finances, you give vague, comfortable answers. You say things like, "We are doing fine. We are grateful for what we have. We are focused on the long term." You never give a number. Numbers are weapons. And you do not hand weapons to people who might use them against you. Secret number 2, your investment strategy. This is the second secret you must protect with your life: what you are buying, what you are holding, and what you are planning. When I find a great investment, do you know who I tell? No one. I do not call my friends. I do not post on social media. I buy in silence, and I hold in silence. Why? Because the moment you share your strategy, you create problems first. You invite second guessing. You tell your brother you are buying Coca-Cola stock, and suddenly he has opinions. Did you see that article about sugar consumption? Did you hear that analyst on TV? What if people stop drinking soda? Every conversation becomes a debate, and debates create doubt, and doubt makes you sell at the wrong time. Second, you create accountability to the wrong people. If the stock goes down, your brother will remind you every Thanksgiving, "I told you that was a bad idea." Now you are managing your portfolio and managing his expectations. This is exhausting. This is distracting. This is expensive. Third, you might be wrong. And when you are wrong in public, your ego gets involved. You hold on to bad investments because you do not want to admit failure. You double down on mistakes because you already told everyone you were right. Private mistakes are lessons. Public mistakes are prisons. The greatest investors in history have all understood this. George Soros never telegraphed his currency bets. Paul Tudor Jones closes his blinds when he makes major trades. I have spent my entire career avoiding the spotlight, buying businesses quietly, holding them quietly, compounding in silence. You should do the same. When someone asks what stocks you own, you say, "I own a diversified portfolio." When someone asks for investment tips, you say, "I am not qualified to give advice." You keep your mouth shut and let your net worth do the talking years from now. Secret number 3, your income sources. This is the secret that most people give away freely, and it costs them dearly in the modern economy. The people who are getting ahead have multiple streams of income. They have their job, they have their side business, they have their investments, they have their royalties or rental income. The mistake they make is telling everyone about it. When you tell your employer about your side business, you become a threat. You are no longer fully committed in their eyes. You are 1 foot out the door. Suddenly you are first on the layoff list. Suddenly you are passed over for promotions. Your employer wants to own you. The moment they realize they do not, they start looking for someone they can own. When you tell your coworkers about your side income, you become a target. They will report you to HR. They will spread rumors. They will sabotage you out of envy. I have seen this destroy careers. I have seen this destroy friendships. The workplace is not your family. It is a competitive environment. And in competitive environments, you do not reveal your advantages. When you tell your friends about your income sources, you change the relationship. Money creates distance. It creates expectation. It creates resentment. The friendship that was built on equality is now contaminated by financial hierarchy. The rich understand this. They never talk about how much they make or how they make it. They say vague things like, "I am in finance, I work in business, I have some investments." They never give details because details are ammunition. You should do the same. Your income sources are your battle strategy. You do not show your cards until the game is over. Secret number 4, your financial goals. This is perhaps the most counterintuitive secret because the self-help industry tells you the opposite. They say share your goals. They say accountability partners will help you succeed. They say speaking your dreams into existence makes them real. This is terrible advice for money. When you tell someone your financial goal, you get a small dopamine hit. Your brain rewards you as if you have already achieved it. This is scientifically proven. It is called social reality. The act of telling someone gives you a taste of the accomplishment, and that taste reduces your hunger to actually do it. But that is not the worst part. The worst part is what happens when you do not hit the goal. Let us say you tell your family, I am going to make my first million by age 40. Now the clock is ticking. Now every family gathering becomes a status check. So how is the $1 million goal going? Every setback is public knowledge. Every pivot looks like failure. You are no longer building wealth, you are performing wealth. Building for an audience that does not understand the game. The rich set their goals in silence. They work toward them in silence, and when they achieve them, they celebrate in silence. Then they set new goals and repeat the process. No announcements, no accountability, partners, no public pressure, just quiet execution. I have had financial goals my entire life. I have never shared them with anyone until after they were achieved. And even then, I am vague because the next goal is already in motion. And that goal is also a secret. You should do the same. Write your goals in a private journal. Track your progress alone. Let the results speak for themselves. Years from now, when you have made it, people will ask how you did it, and you will smile and say, I just got lucky. That is the answer of a wealthy person. Luck is the public explanation for private, relentless execution that nobody saw coming. Secret number 5, your financial struggles. This is the final secret, and it might be the most important when you are struggling financially. The temptation is to tell people you want sympathy, you want help, you want someone to understand. This is a mistake. When you tell people you are struggling, you change how they see you permanently. Humans have short memories for your successes and long memories for your failures. You can recover from bankruptcy in 2 years, but your family will see you as the one who went broke for the rest of your life. Worse still, you invite predators. When people know you are desperate, they offer you bad deals. They lowball your services. They know you cannot say no. Your vulnerability becomes their leverage. The rich understand this deeply when they have a bad year. They say, business is challenging right now. They never say, I am broke. They never say, I am scared. They project strength even when they feel weak, because projection becomes reality and perception becomes opportunity. There is a concept called acting as if. When you act as if you are confident, opportunities come to the confident person. When you act as if you are abundant, deals come to the abundant person. When you broadcast scarcity, you attract scarcity. This does not mean you lie. It means you exercise strategic silence. You do not volunteer your weaknesses. You do not give the market reasons to undervalue you when someone asks how business is going. You say we are working on some exciting things when someone asks if you need help. You say, I appreciate that, but I am handling it. You keep your struggles private. You solve your problems quietly. And when you emerge stronger, nobody knows how close you came to the edge. That is power. That is how the wealthy operate, and that is how you must learn to operate. The practice of silence. Now, you know the 5 secrets: your net worth, your investment strategy, your income sources, your financial goals, your financial struggles. But knowing is not enough. You must practice. Silence is a skill, and like all skills, it requires training. Here's what I want you to do for the next 30 days. I want you to say nothing about money. Nothing at all. When someone brings up finances, you listen, you nod, you ask them questions about their situation, but you reveal nothing about yours. You will be amazed at what happens. You will feel powerful. You will feel in control. You will notice that the less you say, the more people respect you, the more they wonder about you, the more they assume you know something they do not. Mystery is magnetic. Silence is strength. I have been practicing this for 70 years, and it has made me billions. Not because silence makes money directly, but because silence prevents the losses that talking inevitably creates. The quiet compound. We have talked about secrets. We have talked about strategy. But let me leave you with this. Wealth is not built in public. Wealth is built in the quiet hours when nobody is watching, when nobody knows what you are doing, when nobody can interfere. The greatest fortunes in history were built by quiet people, people who let their money speak for them, people who understood that attention is expensive and privacy is priceless. I want you to imagine something. Imagine you are 80 years old. You are sitting in your home surrounded by the life you built, looking at the wealth you accumulated. Now ask yourself, would you rather have spent those years talking about what you were going to do, impressing people at parties, getting likes on social media, or would you rather have spent those years in silence, building something that would outlast you, something your grandchildren would inherit, something that proved what you were capable of without you ever having to say a word? The answer is obvious, but the discipline is rare. That is why the rich stay rich and the loud stay poor. From this day forward, you speak less, you build more. You let your results echo long after the conversation ends. This is the way of the wealthy. This is the Oracle framework, and now you understand it. Protect these 5 secrets. Guard them with your life. And watch what happens when you stop talking and start compounding. The world rewards the quiet. The world remembers the wealthy. Be both. That is all. Thanks for watching.